A number of people have asked me for an update on tariffs and the board game industry, so here's what I know. For a while, the tariffs were at 145% on goods from China, and as we've discussed before, the vast majority of board games are manufactured in China. Then on May 12th, the tariffs were reduced to 30% for 90 days. While 30% is obviously better than 145% for the board game industry, it's not as much good news as you might think. Before all this tariff stuff started happening, I talked to a friend of mine who works for a Chinese manufacturer, and I asked him the question, what is the percentage number that kills the board game industry? And he said 35%, so we are obviously dangerously close to that number still. But more than that, it is crazy hard to run a business, any business, if you don't know what your future costs are going to be. What if at the end of 90 days, the tariffs jump to 50% or 250%? It's so hard to build a business plan right now. A lot of board games have a crowdfunding campaign on something like Kickstarter or GameFound before they start manufacturing. And these crowdfunding campaigns have essentially become a pre-order system for games. But how do I know how much money I need to raise for a game if I don't know how much it's going to cost? In addition, these campaigns are often used to gauge interest. Based on how many people back the campaign, I'm going to decide how many I need to print and manufacture, but I don't know how to gauge that now either. The other hard thing right now is there is a mad scramble by a lot of companies to get their products onto a boat from China while we are in this period of reduced tariffs. But there's only so many shipping containers to go around. The big companies are paying a premium to get their products onto a container, but board games don't often have the margins to pay extra to secure a container. So, hopefully they make it on. And if you're someone who's like, yeah, but we need these tariffs to bring manufacturing back to the United States, then you should also be mad. Because nothing is coming back while the tariffs are flip-flopping and changing. In my opinion, the tariffs should stay low and we should invest other resources into helping and building up US manufacturing. I'm trying to stay neutral in these tariff videos as much as possible, but I admit that I am getting frustrated. My friend put together a list of about 50 articles on how tariffs are affecting the board game industry. If you want to read more, I've added a link to my link tree with all of those different articles.